Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Erin and thank you for coming and watching my video. This is going to be about my Influencer VoxBox that I got for the bareMinerals BAREPRO Foundation. And just so I do not forget about this detail, I did receive this complimentary free from Influencer, and all reviews, opinions, thoughts, whatever are all my own. So let's just get into this. I'm going to show you the packaging it came in. It came in this box. And in the box, it's like this. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Here I am. It came with this information card. The box, which is just like, if I can hold it right, like this. Stuff on the back and just this, so nothing too fancy. I'm gonna read what the box says about this foundation. It is flawless medium to full coverage, lasts all day, creamy blendable texture for luxurious comfort, stay true mineral pigments designed for all skin tones, oil free, non-comedogenic, hyperallergenic, dermatologist tested. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, the color I did receive was like really light. And I normally match foundations to my chest because it's oftentimes darker. Like as you can see here, how yellow it is. I'm more of like a neutrally tone and this is yellow based. So I love the packaging. I'm gonna read the card and everything and go through the claims and like let you know if for me it was true. I'm actually gonna bounce back to the box first and go through that and tell you what I think. But in regards to the packaging, I really like it. It's very solid, it's glass, very high end in my opinion with the packaging. It's got a locking lid. I really like, and a pump, so. Very travel friendly in regards to being solid and having a locking lid. Now, in regards to the claims, and I'll hold this up so you can see while I'm reading. For flawless medium to full coverage that lasts all day. I'm gonna say it's like a low to high medium depending on your skin. Like if you have a lot of like scarring, dark spots, whatever, it's probably gonna be a low medium for you. If you've got, you know, skin more close to mine, I have a lot of freckles though, it's gonna be a high medium. I don't have a lot of stuff to cover up. For it lasting all day, I'm at the 8-hour marker right now. And as you can see, I'm very shiny. It's still on my face. I don't think if I get up close, you're really gonna be able to see, but it's already breaking around my nose, my chin a little bit, my forehead, but it's still on. Creamy blendable texture for luxurious comfort. Now let's go over this creamy claim. I don't think that this is a creamy foundation at all. This is straight up liquid. Because when I think of cream, I think of something thick. Like more like your CC Plus cream from It Cosmetics or like your hybrid gel Tarte foundation. But look at this. Do you see this? It's just like running. So it's very, very watering. Not that, I didn't even get napkins, so I'm just gonna use this. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you're gonna market it as creamy, I would expect it to be a little bit thicker, you know? For it being creamy, blendable texture for luxurious, well, that's what we just went over. It is blendable to a certain extent. It dries really fast, so you have to work fast. Stay true mineral pigments designed for all skin tones. I think if it was in my right shade, it'd look a lot better shade-wise. But it does oxidize a little bit, so keep that in mind when buying it. So if a shade is just like borderline your shade, you might want to go a little bit lighter. If it's like, you know, if it oxidizes even just a little bit, it's going to be completely off. It's oil-free, non-comedogenic. How do you even say that word? Hyperallergenic, dermatologist tested. It does have a sunscreen in it, which we'll get into when I read this. I'm trying to see what it says on here. No other things that says on here. So it says it claims around the clock coverage. Like I had went over before, I don't, like it will be on your skin, but I don't think it will look good after about like 8 hours, at least for me. And just so we are clear on my skin type, I'm like normal. I can be dry at times, but I could also be combination. It really just depends on the weather and just hormonally what's going on, how my skin looks. As you can see now, this makes me look oily. It really does. And I'm not an oily. I've never had an oily skin type. I've been combination, like a little bit oily in my T-zones, but it's really oily. So around the clock coverage, bareMinerals redefines performance wear with 24-hour wear liquid foundation that cares while it covers, improving the appearance of skin texture over time while blurring pores and imperfections. Available in 30 true to you shades in a natural matte finish. I do have to say the shade range on this, if you've read any of my social media about this foundation, shade range is bomb. Not gonna lie, like they have so many shades, so it'd be easy, supposed to be easy to find a match. In regards to it blurring pores and imperfections, no. I would say a hard no on that one. If anything, I've had the most trouble with this one in regards to emphasizing texture that I don't really have issues with other foundations or CC creams or whatever that I use. And I haven't noticed it like really, sorry, my phone had some notification on it. I didn't really notice it improving any texture on my face. I've worn it, a handful of times. I don't think it's improved anything, but at least they're in there, right? Okay, good for skin ingredients. This luxuriously creamy, which we've already went over, not creamy, liquid foundation contains papaya enzymes that gently help exfoliate your skin's surface to promote cell turnover and improve skin's texture, while bamboo stem extract gives a naturally matte, soft focus. These good for skin ingredients won't clog your pores, that is true, and will leave your skin looking permanently Instagram worthy. What could be better than that? It does photograph really nicely, not gonna lie. Up close, probably not, but like from a normal range, it does. It really does. I'm very surprised on that. Foundation that works and plays as hard as you do. BAREPRO Performance Wear Liquid Foundation provides natural looking full coverage and so much more. This is humidity, water, and sweat resistant foundation that provides broad spectrum non-chemical SPF 20 sun protection, which is essential in preventing premature aging of the skin. So in regards to it being humidity, water, and sweat resistant, that is all true. The first time I ever applied this, and I did apply it with a brush, which I did not like, which we'll get into in a second, I put water on my face to try to just get it off real quick so I can reapply it in a different method, and it did not budge. Like literally rolled off. I've worn this outside. I've worn this while I was sweating in the rain, and it does not budge. Being in Florida, that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And the fact that it has SPF 20 in it, that's good too. It's always good to have a foundation, that has some type of SPF in it. Now, I'm going to get into what I did before and what didn't work. I used a regular face primer. It has sunscreen in it, but it's just my normal that I wear with like every foundation, and it smooths my skin, looks good. Didn't work. I used a professional because this one really emphasized pores for me at first, and especially in like this area and on my nose, which I really normally don't have issues with. So I used Professional by Benefit primer and my T-zone area, and it did not work. If anything, it made the foundation like slide around. So there was a no on that. I have a couple other like random primers that I used, all water-based by the way, and they didn't work. Then I took a look at, I tried wearing this with no primers too, and it didn't work. So I looked at the ingredients in my moisturizer. My moisturizer actually has like a lot of oils in it, such as like coconut oil, olive oil, and whatnot. I'm like, well, water-based foundation, oils in my moisturizer, what if they're not soaking in right or just not mixing right with the formula? So I got something different. I'll show you what I got. What I had. I used the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Plus Lotion for very dry to dry combination skin. So I used this, and I think that this is oil free. and it works well with the foundation. It really does. It doesn't cause it to be weird. Because when I say be weird, it was causing dry patches where I didn't have dry patches. Like instantly, as soon as I would put on the foundation, cause dry patches. So who knows? And in regards for emphasizing my pores, the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer Base. Right here I have like, ooh, that's bright. Small sample of it. And I'll even open it so you guys can see it. In my T-zone, works wonderfully with this foundation. Even with changing up my moisturizer, which it helped with it like staying together and not breaking up so bad and just looking very cakey. I did have an issue with still some of those dry patches that I was referencing, and I had to use Tarte Maracuja Oil. This soaks in very fast, and I use it in my normal skincare routine. I normally just don't use it with my foundation. So I put this on probably about like 15 minutes before I would apply the foundation, and I'm getting very smooth coverage. Here, it's still a little tricky, but it's not as bad. Like, it's wearable. I'm not like, oh, I can't go out of the house looking the way that I do. But the fact that I've had to change up my whole routine to make this foundation work, that's where it's kind of like, is it really worth it? Luckily, I did not purchase this. It was free for me. So changing it up right now isn't that big of an issue, but I don't have a full size of this. I would have to go out and buy it. Versus I have a crap ton of my moisturizer that I've been using just fine with all my other products that I use. I have a whole bottle of it. So I literally have to change up everything. And also this is travel size, so when I run out of this, you know, go out and buy it. Also for my under eye area, I was having a lot of issues with it lifting, and I'll show you my concealer. I was using the Tarte Shape Tape. It was separating away from my concealer. So I thought I was bringing up my foundation too high. So I tried, you know, not bringing it underneath the under eye and just blending this into the foundation. And it made it probably a couple hours, like 2 hours, literally a couple hours before it separated. And you could just see the line on my face, and it was not flattering at all. My husband even notices, and he doesn't normally notice that kind of stuff. So I've had to use gel under eye cream to help. I don't know why, but it helps prime that area very well. And to, you know, help it go seamlessly into the foundation, I have to use this Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And I actually don't really care for this concealer, but it's a great one for on the skin. And what's funny is if you actually look at the foundation and look at the concealer, this is like 2 shades darker. But for some reason, it works, it highlights. So what I do is I dot this where I want to brighten, and then I do like a dotting triangle motion here. So when I blend this one out, it blends into this, and then this blends into this. So it's a process to get this to work, and I cannot, if I try highlighting with this on my face, the same thing will happen. I'll have breakup on my nose, breakup on my forehead, breakup here if I try to clean up my eyebrows with it. If I had any foundation here, it will just be patchy and whatnot. So I've been having to use my cheapy last minute, can't find this concealer to make this one foundation work. Now, I normally set my face, but since this is so matte when you first put it on and it sets and dries down very nicely, I don't use powder on my face. I haven't had any issues with any other powders blending over it, but I normally like to set my under eye area, my nose, and this part of my forehead and my chin. Because on those days that I can be combination, that's where I get a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but a small amount of oil breaking through. I use the Mercier setting powder, and I never have any issues. But this and this here do not go together for some reason, at least for my skin type. This lifts this and causes it to separate, which it's powder. How the heck does it do that? But it does. Also, I cannot apply this foundation with a brush. I've tried a couple of different brushes and it just does not work. So I've been having to use my Tarte sponge. Sorry, it's dirty, but I use this side, you know, to blend in, and I have to work this in sections. So what I do is I pump a little bit on here, and you know, believe it or not, with how liquidy this is, it kind of just sits on top. And I start at the perimeter and work my way up, because I can't have this too far up into my eyes because it will mess with my concealer. So I have to stop kind of like right in here. And so I just, you know, pound some motion, blend it up. And then to set my face, I use a setting spray, which I use anyway normally as well to keep my makeup in place. But this is the only thing I can use. I haven't seen that this has done anything weird to this foundation. So all in all, do I like it? If I had to give it, you know, out of 5-star rating, I would say a 3. Because I can make it work. Is it my favorite on my skin? No. By no means. It's not my favorite. I don't like the fact that it makes me have like this dryish looking texture here that, you know, I normally don't have an issue with when I use my other foundations. Do I think it stays all day? It stays a decent amount of time. It really does. And the fact that it's humidity resistant, sweat resistant, and all that is a plus. Things blend easily over it. Great. And it looks great on like this half of my face. But I don't think all the claims for me on this foundation are true. I do think that if it was in my shade, it'd be a lot better. But it's light, so I think it's just gonna kind of stand out anyway. I just had to change up way too much of my routine to make this work. I'm gonna, you know, work my way through this foundation because I have it. It keeps me from buying like other stuff. I think it might be my winter color maybe. We're kind of transitioning into fall right now. But yeah, I couldn't honestly tell you, hey, go out and buy it. What I can say though is, if you think this might be for you, you have combination or normal skin, go for it. Get a sample from Sephora. I know Sephora gives out samples. I do not. You can put it on in Ulta, and I don't know if bareMinerals, like their boutiques, actually give out samples of their foundation. But if you can get a hold of a sample, get a sample first. Do not just, you know, put your hard-earned money towards this foundation. Do not just be like, oh yeah, on a whim. But most places you can, you know, return it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I covered the foundation, I covered the concealer, what I've had to use. So in short, this and this, this and this. Apply with the beauty blender, no brush. I've had to put these together to make it work and not lift and be all crazy. And my Ride or Die setting spray, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I think that's it. I think that's all you need to know. If you have any questions, comment below. It does retail for $34, and they do have a brush that they recommend with it. I like the brush idea. I haven't tried it personally, but I really like the idea of the brush. The only thing I read on it, I haven't personally experienced, is that it's hard to clean, some other stuff. Some people say it's not worth it. So I try it with what you have first before splurging on a $30 brush. But it looks very nice. I'm not gonna lie, it looks nice. But yeah, so that's my review. 100% honest. I'm gonna keep using it because it's an okay everyday foundation for me. If I'm needing to like go somewhere fancy or whatnot, no, I'm not gonna use it. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope this really helped your decision and whether you're gonna buy it, try it, or if you're looking to troubleshoot your foundation issues with this. I hope I'm helpful. But yeah, okay, until next time, see you, bye.